I go for anticlimactic. That's sort of my thing. There you go. Thank you for that welcome. I appreciate that. Puts a lot of pressure on me. Makes me wish I would have thought of something slightly more entertaining. Not sure if anybody told you, but I'm just gonna get up here and talk for a while. Sort of like a lecture. My name's Chris Moran from the San Francisco Bay Area. That being said, I'm for gay marriage, but against butt fucking. I think marriage is a beautiful thing. Everybody should be able to do it. I don't know why you'd want to ruin it with butt fucking. You might be wondering how I know. I'm not gay. I'm Mormon. Just kidding. I'm not Mormon. I'm intelligent. The truth is, I don't know what anal sex is like. Not because I'm against it, because they charge extra for that. I'm frugal. Prostitutes are a lot like cars. The Asian ones are cheaper and can generally take more of a beating before they break down. If you don't like that joke, it's because you're a good person. Congratulations. But you are not going to enjoy the rest of this show. I went on my first national tour in the spring, which a lot of you know about, supported. I do appreciate that. Notes from the middle of the country, gas prices significantly lower there. And I'm pretty sure it's because when you're there, all you can think about is driving as far away as fucking possible. Oh, there's nothing there. Except for mass shootings. If you want to commit a mass shooting, go to the center. Everyone's slower and dumber there. Why do you think they always happen in small white towns? Because everyone's out of shape. People get shot all the time in black neighborhoods. They never have mass shootings. Because everyone's too fucking fast. As soon as they hear gunshots. Gone. Hitting football moves in the street. White lady. Remember the shooting in Colorado in the movie theater last year? White people were so unprepared for that, they thought it was part of the show. Honey, are they doing a live rendition of the movie right here in our theater? Oh, I'm gonna get to meet Bruce Wayne tonight. He didn't get to meet Bruce Wayne. I had a black gentleman come up to me after a show recently. Wasn't a fan of that joke. And he came up to me and he said, you know, when you make jokes like that about black people, all you do is perpetuate stereotypes that we're violent criminal offenders. I understood his point, I did, but I said to him, look, just put the gun down and we can talk about this. The middle of the country. People who live in the middle of the country like to create little silver linings for themselves. Oh, the cost of living here is half of what it is in California. Yeah, you know where else the cost of living is cheap? Afghanistan. And I'd rather live there. A suicide bomb's 10 times more interesting than anything in Wyoming. Put me in Kansas City for 2 more days and I'm so bored I'm ready to put on a vest and blow up a library. Great barbecue though. Oh, great barbecue. I don't know what I hate more about social media. I don't do transitions, by the way, now you know. I don't know what I hate more about social media. The fact that everyone feels the need to report every insignificant moment of their existence, or the fact that I can't seem to get enough of every insignificant moment in your existence. Between Instagram and Facebook, I can kill 3 hours a day easy. And if I have something important to do that day, that time doubles. It brings out the absolute worst aspect of my personality too. Like, I could give a shit less what any of you are doing most of the time. So what I do is spend hours of my day finding out what you're doing via social media and then tearing you down for it. Oh. What's Sarah doing? She's at a cake shop. Fat ass. What's Brad doing here? He's graduating with a master's degree in engineering from Cal Berkeley. Fag. It's ridiculous. It's like an addiction though. Like the other day, a girl I know, she posted an album on Facebook. All it was the album, just her and her boyfriend at the beach, right? 73 photos in the album. I was home by myself, but when I saw it, I said out loud, who the fuck posts 73 photos of a single day at the beach? Then I continued to audibly belittle her as I went through all 73 photos. Half the people I follow, I wouldn't even care if they got into a car accident and were paralyzed from the neck down. I would, however, enjoy Instagram photos of them eating through a straw. Hashtag suck on this, hashtag paraliving. Oh, God. Should stop being so negative. You know what I don't need in my life, though? Overly optimistic people. Yeah, I don't care whether the glass is half full or half empty so long as it's full of alcohol, okay? You know, I was having a bad day the other day. A buddy of mine comes up to me and says, "Oh, come on, Chris, you gotta cheer up, right? Yeah, gotta be grateful for just for another day. Got the air pumping into your lungs, heart beating in your chest. What's better than that? What's better than me standing here breathing? How about a charter jet to the Bahamas with a Playboy model and a monkey who knows how to play chess? A couple of 8-balls. Maybe Samuel L. Jackson's the pilot of the plane. I don't know, I'm just spitballing here. Me standing here with a grilled cheese sandwich in my hand is better than me just standing here." What kind of logic is that? I'm supposed to be grateful for another day just because I wake up? What am I, a drug dealer expecting to be murdered in my sleep every night? "Oh, I didn't know you were going to be such a downer." Yeah, I apologize that my lifetime goals are slightly more lofty than just getting up in the morning. It's easy to be happy when you're setting the bar 2 inches off the ground. How is community college treating you, by the way, anyway? Speaking of community college, City College of San Francisco, on the brink of closing, maybe, huh? Has me worried, because I have no idea who's going to make my coffee when all those Starbucks workers have to go find real jobs. Oh no, I know, it's really sad too, because I'm sure that associate's degree in hip-hop dancing was really going to open a lot of doors. If you're going to be in San Francisco, though, if you're going to be alive, though, San Francisco is not a bad place to be. A lot of good stuff happening here, particularly for the gays. You got the DOMA ruling. The Boy Scouts of America have lifted their ban on gay scouts, which I thought was a little late. I was in Boy Scouts as a kid, got made fun of a lot, and I'm pretty sure everything that ever got said had something to do with the Boy Scouts being the gayest thing I could possibly be doing. "Hey Chris, what are you doing this weekend?" "Oh, I was going camping with the Boy Scouts." "That's gay." "How is that gay?" "I'm just going deep into the woods with a bunch of other really straight guys. We're going to pack into a small tent far away from the city where no one can confirm or deny what we might be doing out there. 2 more weeks and I get my secret spoon badge. I'm going to sew it right here on my sash." Yeah, word of advice next time you're trying to organize a super straight, all-male, heterosexual organization, when you're designing the uniforms, maybe leave off the sash and the handkerchief. Look like a butch lesbian beauty pageant. Historical fact, I am the only person to ever say butch, lesbian, and beauty in the same sentence. Just kidding. Everyone's beautiful in their own way, right? Just not always on the outside. I had to clean out a turkey recently. Which, if you haven't done it, you shouldn't. Because it's about the most disgusting thing you could ever do. Just reaching your hand in and pulling out guts and slimy shit. I felt like an abortion doctor during a power outage. Which, if that's any indication of what they have to go through, I might just have to change my vote. She can't prove it if she doesn't have my DNA. You'll get that when you go home. The turkey. I'll also say that, I wanted to do it the old-fashioned way. It was a family dinner, stay true to tradition, but I don't recommend that either, because it's damn near impossible to get anything out with a wire hanger. That's enough about why I don't have a brother. The pro-life people should give up the fight. Not because they're wrong, but because abortion will always be legal as long as rich white men run Congress. You know how many politicians have slept with prostitutes and housekeepers? Ugh. Planned Parenthood has helped keep more politicians in office than campaign fundraising. Because only in America will we allow our politicians to enact policies keeping us all bankrupt and sending us to war and we don't want to go, and bailing out the banks and killing thousands of people abroad, but then we all throw a shit fit when they get a hand job in the airport bathroom. USA! USA! We have Foot Locker for men's shoes, we have Lady Foot Locker for women's shoes, and we have Kids Foot Locker for teen moms. Because apparently having a kid doesn't make you any less stupid. Well, let's see, I just had a kid. I'll probably barely make it through high school, let alone college. I'm gonna work a low-income job for the rest of my life, struggling to make ends meet. But I think I'll take what little money I have now, because I still live at home with my parents, and spend it on a $60 pair of basketball shoes for my 3-month-old. Can't wait till that kid turns 18. Sorry, Junior, no money for college, but if you take a look at your baby photos, you will just love the way your little Jordans match your LeBron jersey. then I have to act like I feel sorry for him when he's getting arrested for breaking into my car 18 years from now. Oh, he grew up in a low-income neighborhood. He never had a chance. Newsflash. You didn't become a criminal because of where you grew up. You became a criminal because of who you grew up with. Your parents are stupid. I saw a commercial for dog food recently that says that it helps fight dog breath, which is dumb because no matter how good a dog's breath smells, it still smells like dog breath. I also had a friend tell me that if you get one that was previously abused, that they're easier to train because they're timid and they listen better, which is easily the best relationship advice I've ever gotten. If you're a male and you own a dog whose height only comes up to your ankles, then you're probably a homosexual. And if you're a male and you happen to share that opinion with me, all that means is that we're both insecure about our own sexuality. I learned that on The View. The View. Someone got a little cocky with their articles of speech. The View? It's more like A View. If you've never seen The View before, it's a television show where 5 women sit around, discuss opinions and ideas, and everybody listens to them. There's a male version too, it's called Life. The View. The View from where? The kitchen? Below? The passenger seat? I don't know. Guess you're not driving, you can look around more, huh, ladies? Not sexist, relax. I listen to women. I do. I have a satellite navigation as a woman. Look, no, you might be thinking I know my satellite navigation is a woman because of the sound of its voice. That's not true. The reason I know my satellite navigation is a woman because it's always fucking up directions. Look, see, here's where, divisive, right? This is where, it's always bizarre to me where people, judge you for what you're saying on stage, Like those jokes, people are like, oh, you're sexist, Sexist is the weirdest one to me because growing up, I grew up in a household with all women. I was raised by my mother and I have 2 sisters, no male role model. My dad died when I was 9, which is a horrible thing to bring up at a comedy show, unless you've got a punchline for it. And I don't. You guys are assholes. No, I mean, look, growing up without a dad, it is tough. I won't pull any punches there. Not a lot of obvious silver linings. There's a couple upshots in there. One less person resenting you for the rest of your life. One less set of expectations to live up to. And I'm pretty sure that because growing up without a dad does suck, it gives you the right to bring that up, to awkwardly halt conversation at your leisure. Let me give you an example. Watch. My girlfriend comes in the other day, right? Very upset. She looks me right in the eye. She says, Chris, are you cheating on me? So I looked at her and I said, look, maybe if my dad hadn't died when I was 9, I'd have the emotional capacity to understand what it means to be in a long-lasting, loyal relationship. I'm sorry I can't live up to your expectations. To which she responded, yeah, and maybe if your dad hadn't died when you were 9, he could have taught you a thing or two about sex so there wouldn't be 2 dissatisfied women right now. Whatever. That's what love is. An article was printed recently that said that worldwide, obesity has now become a larger problem than starvation and famine. Do we need any more proof that we're the shittiest group of humans to ever exist? Can we just let people start dying now? People always want to blame the fast food companies too. The fast food companies have tried to help us. You go to McDonald's and what do? They have it divided up into meals for you. You know why? Because that's how much food one person should be eating. But what do? Can I get the number 1? And instead of fries, could I get curly fries? And instead of a Coke, could I get a milkshake? And instead of a cheeseburger, could you just give me diabetes? Is that an option? Preferably with mayonnaise and pickles. Millions of years of evolution had the whole natural selection thing worked out pretty well. I'm just saying there's a reason the T-Rex is extinct. Baby arms? You're supposed to be the most ferocious creature of your era and you have baby arms? No. Nature realized that was gay and I got rid of it. If we weren't always getting in the way with our moral authority, we wouldn't have to be reading about how Lindsay Lohan was going into rehab for the 6th time because she'd be dead already. I was in a bowling alley the other day and there was a sign on the ball return that said, please do not stick hand or head inside the ball return. People intelligent enough to know not to stick their head inside of a ball return don't need the label. And people dumb enough that don't know not to stick their head inside of a ball return can't read. The next time you're at a bowling alley, if someone sticks their head inside of a bowling ball return, pray that a bowling ball comes and crushes their skull, because they are going to get you hurt. And if they don't die, take them out back and beat them to death with bowling pins in the bowling alley. I would love for somebody to explain to me why calling someone fat is an insult too. It's not an insult, it's an observation. Look, if you're tall, you're tall. If you're short, you're short. And if you're fat, you're fat. If I don't call you fat, it doesn't make you any less fat. You can't hide the fact that you're fat. Hey, Jim, do you know Sheila's fat? No kidding, I just thought she was pregnant all the goddamn time. Seriously? Yeah, I figured her kind of a whore. All right. It's not like being called ugly. Ugly's subjective. Some people would date Adele. I wouldn't. Have you seen her without makeup? Oh, talk about a transformation. Look, I don't know who does Adele's makeup every morning, but I assume it's the same team of people it requires to do the entire Walking Dead cast. Look, Adele aside, you can't control whether you're ugly or not, but you can control whether you're fat. I'm helping you anyway. I call you fat, you get mad, you get up, you walk away. Look at you, you're burning calories. I do appreciate that being fat is one of the few things in life that you can get rewarded for just not doing anymore. Like, I've weighed the same since high school. No one ever comments on my weight. But if I were somehow to put on 300 pounds and then take that 300 pounds off, I become a success story. Why? Because it took so much hard work and determination to get the weight off. You know what else is really hard to get through? A 25-year prison sentence. But if you stab someone to death, that's the consequence. Being fat is a consequence of drinking cake-flavored smoothies. I mean, look at Jared from Subway. Here's a guy, he got a TV deal, he's in commercials, he got a book deal, famous, everybody knows who he is, lots of money. You wanna know what his success story was? Two steps. Step one. He was a giant piece of shit for most of his life. Step two. He stopped being a giant piece of shit. That's it, that's all he did. What an inspiration. USA, USA. You know, I think of the stage as kind of a place I can share, and so I want to share a little story with you guys that's true. About a year ago, a little more now, I broke up with my ex-girlfriend. It was my fault. I was doing something I shouldn't have been doing, and we ended things after a 2-year relationship, and just a couple months afterwards, I found out she was dating someone, which she had every right to do. You know, I wasn't upset about that, but then just a couple months ago, I found out that she was pregnant. Now, you know, it was a little bit weird just because, you know, this was a girl who I made a lot of future plans with, you know, marriage, kids, etc. And she did call me personally to tell me about it, and we were on the phone, and she just said, you know, I just thought you should know, I wanted you to hear from me. But then to throw in one last little jab, she says to me, you know, Chris, I don't know how this is going to make you feel, but I just want you to know that this could have been you. This could have been us. And I just hung up the phone right there. I didn't know what to say. And for the next few days, I was just raw with emotion. I had all these, you know, I just didn't know what to think. You know, how did I feel? You know, here was my ex-girlfriend having a baby with somebody else. And I had so many words running through my head, and all of them were synonyms to fucking relieved. Oh. Woo! No, that one worked out perfect, because I didn't have any plans tonight or for the next 18 years worth of nights. I felt like that scene in The Matrix where Neo's just narrowly watching the bullets fly by. Oh. No, look, I am at that age now where people I know, people I grew up with are starting to have children. The ones without goals anyway, and... No, here's the deal. I want to have kids, I do. I want to have a lot of kids. But I just don't feel like I'm at that age, at this point in my life, where I'm ready to bring another one into it. And my girlfriend, she is ready, and she expressed this to me the other day. She said, you know, Chris, I'm just worried that by the time you're emotionally ready to have kids, that I might not be physically willing or able to, and that you'll leave me for a younger woman. Which made me feel horrible, because it's supposed to be a surprise. Thank you. I don't fight. So my number one fear when I go out with any girl is that she's gonna get into some sort of altercation with a guy and that I'm gonna have to stick up for her. And I know what some of you are thinking, but Chris, you're pretty big compared to most Asians. But I'm just not one of those macho guys. Like, I can only take arguments with complete strangers as far as the point where they say something like, "You got a fucking problem, bro?" Following that remark, I usually have to start working around the argument, saying things like, "You know, it's not even worth it, man," as I slowly backpedal away. I was out with a girl the other night, and it was late, and we were standing in line, and a guy made a pass at her, and she brushed him off, and then he called her a twat. She immediately turns to me and says, "Aren't you going to defend my honor?" Your honor? It's 3 a.m. and we're at 7-Eleven buying taquitos and Pop-Tarts. There's a Golden Girls marathon on in 10 minutes. We've got to go. Quite frankly, after that question, I'm sort of inclined to agree with him. And then she says to me, "You're just scared you're going to get your ass kicked all over this 7-Eleven, pussy." Now look, guys, I think that every man should be as chivalrous and respectful as possible. But there comes a point in every man's life when he knows he has to set a woman straight. So I turned to her, I raised my hand, and I said, "Look, maybe if my dad hadn't died when I was 9. All right, thanks, guys. I gotta get out of here.